Rick and Morty, Hypoglycemia Cat. Act 1. Interior living room morning. Morty and Summer sit on the sofa and watch the TV. Half-assed birthday decorations litter the house.
Jan Michael Vincent is...
Oh man, there's no one quite like Jan Michael Vincent.
trapped inside the bodies of 16 Jan Michael Vincents.
That makes no sense.
You make no sense, Summer. No one asked for your opinion.
Shut up, Morty.
Rick enters with a gun-shaped object and zaps Morty and Summer.
Ow, what the hell, Rick?
Yeah, what the hell, Grandpa?
You'll thank me later.
What awful thing is he doing to me this time?
Summer looks at Morty. Rick looks at Morty. Silence lingers.
Oh, jeez. Did I just say that?
Duh, Morty.
Summer stands up in self-realization.
I didn't mean to say that.
You were saving that valuable insight for yourself, huh?
What have you done to us, Rick?
It's an inner dialogue zapper.
Zapper?
Yeah, that doesn't sound very scientific, Grandpa.
Jerry enters and sits on the armchair and begins to read his newspaper.
In some dimensions, they're so concerned with getting people to tell the truth that they don't bother with what sounds scientific to you, Morty. Summer.
Like a busted.
God, Jerry, way to go and make a sweeping generalization. Maybe try and shield your kids from your prejudice.
Well, I just thought.
Nobody cares, Dad.
At all.
Listen to your kids, Jerry.
Jerry is deflated.
How long are we gonna say what we think for, Rick?
About a day, Morty. I'm surprised you haven't had more thoughts to vocalize yet.
Well, I don't want inner.
This sucks.
If monologues were good enough for Shakespeare, Summer, they're good enough for you.
Wait, you said they were inner, outer...
Well, Summer, clearly, none of you guys can say outer, inner dialogue.
Why have you done this? You're a real jerk, Grandpa Rick.
Just enjoy speaking your mind, Summer.
Rick begins to leave towards the garage.
I don't want to speak my mind. Not in school, anyways. Everyone will hate me.
Everyone hating you sounds like your problem, not theirs.
But Grandpa Rick...
No one cares about your social anxiety, Summer.
I'd hate to agree with your grandpa, Summer.
Then don't, Jerry.
Jerry folds his newspaper and gets up.
I don't have to take this.
Yes,
you do.
Like you have anywhere to go, Jerry.
I have leads. Job leads.
I don't see you doing much chasing, Jerry. Just saying, it's something to think about.
Rick leaves towards the garage, humming Charles Wright's Express Yourself. Jerry sits back down. Summer and Morty go upstairs. Interior, garage, continuous. Beth waits tentatively, touching nothing and looking at everything. Rick enters the garage.
Jerry's got some leads, Beth.
He's been saying that for months now.
He'll never get a job. Trust me, I checked.
Do you think we should, separate?
Well, he is the worst. But what do I know? I've only traveled through dimensions and outsmarted most of the multiverse.
Rick gets into his spaceship and opens the door for Beth.
Happy birthday, Beth.
Thanks, Dad.
Beth fastens her seatbelt. The space cruiser takes off.
I can't believe you're finally taking me on one of your space adventures.
It's really overdue, Beth. The important thing is we're doing it now.
So where are we going? Or is it when?
I don't pick up teenagers and make them tightrope incest, Beth. It's just not my deal.
Oh, of course. I don't know what I was thinking.
It's where, Beth. It's where.
Interior, school, day. Morty nervously sits in his math lesson, staring at Jessica. Morty's hand covers his mouth in an attempt to suppress the vocalization of his thoughts. Mr. Glodenfold instructs the class.
It's math, okay?
The class is silent.
I don't need to tell you how squaring works. It just does. And you better respect it. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in a whole world of trouble. Trouble you can't smart mouth your way out of. Now, who knows how you square a number?
The class is silent.
Jessica? Brad? Do any of you know basic math?
Morty squirms.
Morty, you look like you're itching uncomfortably to tell us the answer.
Morty struggles with his hands over his mouth before, unable to contain himself, he allows himself to speak.
I think squares are childish and stupid. Just like high school. Things move pretty quickly, you know? You could miss it thinking about numbers. I'm not a number, so why should I care about numbers? A person shouldn't believe in squaring, they should believe in what they see. A square doesn't change how I feel. Does a number even want to be squared?
Morty's Ferris Bueller-esque speech is not delivered with the same confidence as Matthew Broderick. Nevertheless, the class applauds Morty and his honest stream of consciousness.
Lord Almighty. You think numbers are a joke? Is this a joke to you? Do you think you're charismatic, Morty? Do you think you have an arrogant charm? Morty Smith, you are not too smart for math. You hear me?
The bell rings. The class rushes out. Interior, space cruiser, beyond the construct of time. Beth stares out of the window intently. Rick drives his space cruiser.
It's breathtaking. Do you ever get amazed by the infinite potential and possibilities out here? You could just start again.
Not really. Most of the time there's just infinite pains in my ass. And prostate.
The cruiser heads towards a planet that looks like a giant thread ball. Squanch 426. Exterior, Squanch 426 continuous. The planet's surface is made of yarn. The planet is home to thousands, possibly millions of cats.
Here we are.
So many cats. I love it.
Rick leaves his space cruiser and opens the door for Beth.
Have you got me a cat?
Beth exits the vehicle.
I'd never enslave an animal for pleasure, Beth.
No, I didn't mean to.
Got you. We're here to pick up your old cat.
But Mr. Kittens died and went to kitty heaven, remember?
Yeah, literally. He didn't die, Beth. Your mother, God rest her, just didn't want a cat, so in my infinite wisdom, I put her here on Squanch 426, a place where time is just a human construct.
Time is a human construct?
Ever seen that clock, Beth?
I suppose you're right, but I thought time was a dimension.
The fourth one, I bet. See how far that theory gets you out here.
So I can have Mr. Kittens back?
I sure hope so. Otherwise, we'd waste a whole lot of dark matter getting here.
Squanchy appears from a weave.
Holy Squanch! Well, Squanch, are you doing here, Rick?
Squanchy, what's up? I'm here for Mr. Kittens.
Squanch, I think he's in the nip field, squanching.
That's Squanch.
Beth misuses the term and is shunned.
I'm sorry.
Rick and Squanch lead the way over hills of yarn.
How the Squanch did you know I was here?
Well, I know how terrified the Galactic Federation is of yarn and how much you love that nip.
Too right, bro.
The Galactic Federation is scared of yarn?
Yarn's like anthrax to them, Beth. Only worse. Or better, depending on your view of the soulless corporate federation.
Exterior, the nip fields, continuous. There is catnip as far as the eye can see. The occupants of the field resemble those who inhabited opium dens. The cats purr.
There he is!
Not so loud, they're trying to squanch.
In the field is a relaxed cat that has a gray complexion, much like Rick. It is Mr. Kittens.
I can't believe you're here, just the way you were.
Believe it, Beth. Mr. Kittens in the flesh.
Rick laughs. Beth holds Mr. Kittens. Mr. Kittens purrs. All is well. A crash, a thud, and an echo disrupts the tranquil scene. The wind blows, and in the distance, a cat monster emerges ferociously from a bed of wool. Act 2. Interior school, day. Summer sits in Principal Vagina's office. Principal Vagina enters the room and takes a seat.
Nice of you to join us. Sorry.
Listen, Summer, I'm not sure if you're going through some emotional times.
Here we go.
You're coming off as a little bitchy, Summer. I don't have problems with it, but some of the students have been complaining.
Duh.
God knows I get angry. Sometimes I just want to park my car in the garage, seal up the windows, and let the engine run. Now, in your own words, what happened?
I was just standing there and I knew she would make a move.
I used to play chess in high school, too.
I do so much. Do you know how hard it is to deal with being nice, so many people, and still keep a social media presence? It's a hustle.
I'm not familiar with what the youths watch, feel, or do today. I never was, and never will be. Guess that's just the way it goes. This sounds like an issue for your guidance counselor, or someone who's actually qualified to do anything. Maybe take the day off, Summer, or work harder. Who am I to tell you how to live your life?
It's just, I get some real crazy ideas, you know? I just want to go out and do something.
Well, looking at your file, it says you're interested in turquoise. Maybe you could do something with that.
No one gets it. I wish I would just shut up.
Summer begins to walk out of the office.
I'm going to kill Grandpa Rick.
You know what feels right, and I'll be back here tomorrow.
This sucks.
Summer slams the door and walks towards a crowd in the school halls. Exterior, the nip fields, continuous. Yarn flies into the air. A cat runs towards Rick and Beth. It's injured and falls victim to flying wreckage. The scene is reminiscent of Willem Dafoe's iconic scene in Platoon. Squanchy watches on.
What the squatch?
What do we do?
What the squatch?
The rogue cat monster appears to be the cause of the problem. The cat has red eyes, but otherwise looks like any other.
I've seen this before. It's a hairball infested with a hyperglycemia gene.
It's diabetic?
No, it's an angry diabetic with several mutations. The cherry on the cake is...
Then he can't eat the cherry on the cake. Come on, Dad, what should we do?
No, its molecular structure can change in a heartbeat. Don't worry, I have an insulin stabilizer in the space cruiser.
Rick, Beth, and Squanchy run to the cruiser. Rick mixes fluids that could be magic potions to our uneducated minds.
I got it.
Hurry the squatch up, dude. He looks angry.
Here you go, Squanchy. Jab him with this.
Rick hands Squanchy a hypodermic needle. Squanchy runs to the cat and gives it the injection. The situation begins to subside. The cat monster begins to grow and develop muscle at an alarming Marvel film pace. The formula hasn't worked. The cat now looks like its name suggests, monstrous. The cat monster throws Squanchy into the distance and crashes towards Rick and Beth. The yarn which they stand upon shifts with each bound of the cat monster.
Oh, shit. Grab Mr. Kittens, Morty. I mean, Beth. We need to get out of here.
Rick, Beth, and Mr. Kittens jump into an underground passage. Interior, under the nip fields, continuous. Water drips down loose yarn. A greasy cat attempts to fix the yarn and stop the leak. Mr. Kittens hisses and runs away. Beth rushes into the scene that is unfolding. The scene is similar to Brett's death in Alien, only an unnamed greasy cat is being crushed by wool, as Mr. Kittens watches calmly. Beth picks up Mr. Kittens and witnesses the death of another inhabitant of Squanch 426.
Dad!
Rick sips his flask and walks into the chaos.
Holy shit.
Rick has another drink from his flask.
Follow me.
Rick leads Beth and Mr. Kittens down a hole of yarn. There is nothing but darkness.
Looks like we walked into a real Ridley Scott shit show down here.
What do we do, Dad?
I'm not sure, Beth. I think this one might be a close call. You're not scared of dying, are you, Beth?
Dad!
Okay. I was just seeing if we're on the same page.
Are we?
Completely different hymn sheets.
Rick sips his flask. Fade 2, interior school hall continuous. Summer approaches a bustling crowd. In the center of the eager teenagers stands Morty. Morty pontificates to the cheers of his peers.
Some guy says, "This food is great," and the other says, "Yeah, shame about how big the portions are, though." I think it's something to do with how we think we know what we want, but we don't really, you know? I think that's life, really.
Morty?
Summer?
What are you doing, Morty?
I'm just speaking my mind.
You're seeing it how it is.
Preach, Morty.
This one time, I buried myself, and I still can't.
Summer drags Morty from the crowd.
Classic Summer.
Killjoy.
What a bitch. What do you think you're doing?
Well, I just kept speaking.
Yeah, well, don't. You're being a pretentious douche.
You're just saying that because your thoughts are horrible, Summer.
No, Morty, the world is horrible. Rick's horrible for making us do this.
I heard about what you said to Nancy, Summer. Sounds like maybe you were just being a douche.
It's a little more complicated than it seems, Morty.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe Grandpa Rick knew this would pan out and thought you needed to learn how to get your head out of your ass.
You honestly think that, Morty?
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm going home, and you should come with me.
Well, you're going alone. I'm some kind of hero here. Like some Superman shit, like Tom Brady or something.
Whatever, Morty. Just don't come running to me.
Summer leaves the school. Morty returns to the crowd of his peers.
See, the thing with New York is...
The crowd cheers. Fade 2, interior under the nip fields, continuous. Rick leads Beth and Mr. Kittens through yarn tunnels.
Where are we going?
We're gonna find fire, Beth.
Oh, won't that make the whole planet catch fire?
Probably, but I don't think that monster is concerned about preserving life either.
A dead cat flies across the traveling party in a slapstick fashion.
Oh, we can't. What about the cats?
Animals go extinct for convenience all the time. Just look at the black rhino, the quagga, the monk seal.
I suppose.
And just don't forget the Tasmanian tiger, seriously, but it's a touchy subject for a lot of people in the far reaches of space.
I get it, Dad.
Sounds of terror surround them as they navigate tunnels. Eventually, they emerge in a relatively unscathed area. There are no cats to be seen, just a small house.
Quick, get to the house.
Rick runs to the house. Beth follows, holding on to Mr. Kittens tightly. Interior, small house, continuous. Rick searches for tools. Beth assists Rick's search, whilst Mr. Kittens stares out of the window.
We don't even know what we're burning. How could you do this? I thought you knew what you were doing out here.
No one has all the answers, Beth. I'm not some kind of omnipotent being.
Yeah, but you're my father.
Silence lingers.
Trust me.
What about all the animals? Surely we should know what's going on before we turn a planet into a cloud of smoke.
I don't think this is the time to worry about those who aren't smart enough to get off this planet. Let's just get out of here and buy Mr. Kittens a new collar.
This isn't right.
Get searching for something that'll catch fire, Beth.
Rick searches through the wardrobes.
Why don't you just use your dimension gun thing, Dad?
You mean the portal gun? It's with the cruiser.
So, the only thing that could help us is where we last saw the monster.
For now, that monster could be coming for us at any moment.
I think I'd actually prefer to be with Jerry right now. Oh, God.
Rick tips over a wooden wardrobe.
Fucking galaxy.
Rick picks up some wood and begins to carve it with a kitchen knife.
Have you found anything?
We're making a tinder nest.
Okay, I'll get the grass.
You think I'd let my own daughter go out there? I got this, Beth.
I think I should have stayed at home for the surprise birthday party this year.
You might be right, Beth. I'm sorry.
I know, I just wasn't prepared for this.
I'll make it up to you, Beth. I promise.
Okay.
Rick runs out of the house. Interior, living room, continuous. Jerry sits on the sofa, struggling not to pick up the phone.
Hey, are you bored? Lonely? Looking for a friend?
Jerry manages to pick up the remote and change the channel.
I'm gonna get through this.
Jerry sobs into a pillow. Exterior, street, day. Summer walks down the street.
I need to stop thinking. I need to stop thinking. Is it wrong that poverty doesn't bother me if I get clothes on sale? No, I'm right to feel that way. Who doesn't want cheap clothes?
A car begins to slow down and approach Summer.
Want a ride?
No, thank you.
Come on, it'll be fun.
I said no. Maybe respect my answer.
Maybe you can teach me some respect.
What the hell? Do you think that line would work? It doesn't even apply. This isn't some weird teacher porn.
Girls know about porn?
Why do I want to get into your crappy car? Is it a Daywood?
No, it's a
It looks like one. Who do you think I am?
beautiful. Come on.
No.
The driver moves on and picks up another vulnerable teen down the street. Summer walks towards her house.
Maybe people are just mad at a woman speaking her mind.
Interior, small house, later. Mr. Kittens calmly looks at his impending doom. The cat monster approaches. Beth stands over Rick, who is spinning a hand drill on tinder.
Kindle!
I am.
Kindle!
I'm kindling.
Kindle faster! It's coming!
The house shakes as the cat monster approaches. It looks like a giant predator with a tail and whiskers where the enlarged teeth should be. Truly terrifying.
Kindle! Kindle! Kindle!
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub.
The tinder ignites.
Fire, bitch, Kindle style.
Are you sure we should do this?
Well...
Mr. Kittens hits the ball of fire outside of the door. The yarn surface of the planet catches alight.
Looks like Mr. Kittens is making decisions for us now.
How am I gonna get to the space cruiser?
Don't worry, Beth. We can outrun the fire.
How fast is fire?
I'm not a pyrologist.
Flames begin to surround the house as the cat monster comes closer.
But we should probably get moving because we are on a highly flammable surface.
Rick kicks down the back door and leads the way for the trio's escape. The house is engulfed in flames. Exterior, Squanch 426, continuous. The fields are ablaze. Rick and Beth run just ahead of the spreading fire. Mr. Kittens is carried by Beth and bobbles along with the action.
We're nearly there.
Great, Dad. By the way, why was there a house for people on a cat planet?
It wasn't for people,
Well, I'm just glad we found it.
right? These R-rated adventures are usually reserved for Morty.
Morty can handle danger?
He's really come out of his shell, Beth.
That's nice.
It's very rewarding.
The jubilation is cut short. Ahead is the product of the fire, a cliff face. Behind them is the cat monster.
Dad?
From the distance emerges the hero needed so desperately. Squanchy, muscular and ready to do battle.
Squash!
The cat monster and Squanchy begin an epic battle. Rick falls down a hole in the destructive scene. Beth attempts to grab him but is pulled down, holding Mr. Kittens.
Oh, shit!
The trio fall down a yarn-based pit. Interior, school, day. Morty stands on a podium and preaches to his peers.
We should all have free healthcare,
Rumblings begin in the crowd.
right? Shouldn't we all be looked after?
Mr. Goldenfold and Brad begin to voice their discrepancies.
And you're going to do that without math?
Well, have you ever been to New York? Well,
Well, what, Morty? Sounds like you're full of shit, doesn't it?
Morty runs off his podium with Mr. Goldenfold and Brad on his tail. The crowd begins to chant, "Screw Morty!" Interior, yarn tunnel, continuous. Rick, Beth, and Mr. Kittens fall through woven tunnels and land roughly. Beth gets up first with Mr. Kittens. Rick lies motionless.
Dad? Oh my God, I've lost you, Dad. Wake up, please.
Rick lies motionless.
I just want to go home.
Rick burps.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I thought you were dead.
Nobody's dying today, Beth. You take that fall, okay? That was a rough landing.
No problems with me.
Good, because we're gotta get going.
Beth helps Rick up. At the end of the hole is the space cruiser.
Right, let's get to the cruiser.
There it is.
Thanks for the exposition, Beth. Now let's get in.
They clamber up the tunnel. Rick runs with Beth with the cat monster on his tail.
Holy shit, he's hot. You start the cruiser, Beth?
Why is that a bad thing?
No time to just start the cruiser. Keep going, Beth.
Beth runs on. The cat monster approaches. Squanchy crashes through the tunnel and begins to fight the cat monster once more.
Squanchy! Relax, bro. I got this. Send my people to the emergency shuttles.
Sure thing. What are you gonna do?
Get squanching!
Squanchy gets back up and runs towards the cat monster. Squanchy strikes the cat monster fearlessly. Exterior, street, day. Morty runs down the street with Brad and Mr. Goldenfold on his tail. Morty is exhausted. Fortunately, a crappy Daywood pulls up to offer assistance.
Hey man, what seems to be the problem?
can I get a ride, please?
Sure thing. I was gonna pick up chicks, but I don't mind helping.
Oh, you were gonna pick up girls in this car?
The driver looks agitated.
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
Oh, geez, I just can't see who would want to get in this car with you. Do girls ever get in this car?
Sometimes. I get close. You know what? You're not getting any help.
Morty carries on his run.
Hey, you guys want a lift?
Yeah, sure.
The driver provides a lift for Brad and Mr. Goldenfold. The car drives dangerously in pursuit of Morty, smashing through fences and through alleys which Morty runs down.
I never want to think again.
Interior, living room, later. Summer holds a birthday banner. Jerry is on the phone.
Will you get off the phone, Dad? You better not be talking to Taddy Mason again.
No. Yes, an old friend.
Morty knocks on the patio window.
Ugh.
Help! Open the door!
I'm on the phone at the moment, son. Kids, am I right?
Morty knocks on the door harder.
Morty!
Mr. Goldenfold, Brad, and the driver who harassed Summer push Morty around before beating the crap out of him.
Help!
Tell me how to harass teenagers.
The driver kicks Morty.
Say New York City is the best city in the world.
Brad kicks Morty.
New York.
Mr. Goldenfold beats the vulnerable Morty.
Not the serious, Morty.
Go square yourself.
They all kick Morty and walk away. Morty remains on the floor in pain.
What are you guys doing now?
Nothing, man.
Just cruising.
How about an episode of Mrs. Pancakes?
Mrs. Pancakes.
Oh yeah.
I'm down with that.
Mr. Goldenfold and the two young men enter Mr. Goldenfold's house. Act 3. Interior living room continuous. Summer opens the door and lets Morty drag himself in.
What the hell, Summer?
I told you to stop being a douche.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you watch me get beaten up. Like, who does that?
Someone who wants you to remember your place, Morty.
Summer places her arm on a disgruntled and beaten Morty.
Okay, thanks so much. Speak to you soon.
Jerry puts the phone down.
How was your paper minute buddy, Teddy?
He was good.
You're a real piece of shit, Dad.
A real shit
A
sandwich.
shit sandwich no one wanted to eat because he can't come up with a slogan to sell his shit.
You're on a sale shit sandwich.
A drop sit shit sandwich who gets picked up on shoes of good people.
And then makes other people's lives smell like shit.
Yeah, you're on a
I'm gonna assume this is your inner dialogue,
contagious shit sandwich.
and not a reflection of your feelings.
It's called a monologue, you tuna shit melt with extra shit.
Crippled Morty attempts to help Summer put up the birthday decorations. Jerry sits on the sofa and stares into the abyss that is his miserable reality. Exterior, Squanch 426, continuous. Beth clumsily attempts to operate the space cruiser.
Just turn it on like a normal car.
How?
Move over.
Beth moves over to the passenger seat.
We have to make a stop before we go.
Dad, do we have time?
You'll like this surprise, Beth.
The cruiser takes off and exudes blue smoke. Cats emerge from piles of yarn and follow the ship to a shuttle station. The space pods look suspiciously like the containers for small creatures in the original Sonic games. The cats rejoice.
We saved them. Well, did we, or did we save them from our mistake?
As long as they don't know we made a mistake, we're heroes. Besides, they'll find a new planet.
Time to go home?
Sure thing, Beth.
The space cruiser ascends. The space cruiser goes to its intended terrain, space. Interior, space cruiser, continuous. The space cruiser flies across space.
Close call.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, Dad, maybe next time take Morty out with you. I thought I wanted excitement, but maybe having a failing marriage and a tedious home life isn't so bad.
You've got Mr. Kittens on that list of problems now.
Thanks, Dad. He's adorable.
Almost as adorable as your need for security.
The cruiser approaches Earth. Interior, living room, later. A birthday banner is raised across the room. Summer, Jerry, and beaten-up Morty stand under it. Beth enters, holding Mr. Kittens. Rick follows, taking a hit from his flask.
Happy birthday, Mom!
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Oh my god, you got a cat!
Not just any cat, the cat I had when I was a little girl. Grandpa Rick kept him for me.
I hope he doesn't steal the attention I get.
Don't worry, Morty, he'll only steal a little bit.
This was so nice of you, Grandpa Rick.
The family, bar Rick, stroke Mr. Kittens.
Well, what can I say, Summer? I guess I'm a real sentimental guy.
Rick, any chance you can fix the kids?
Didn't like what you heard, hey, Jerry?
No, not exactly.
Well, don't blame them. Look at yourself, Jerry. Besides, the effects should have worn off about 2 hours ago.
Kids?
Don't blame them for what you are, Jerry.
It's okay, Jerry. I like you the way you are.
Hey, thanks, Beth.
Jerry and Beth hold hands.
I don't think it's good to express yourself, Rick.
Yeah, everyone hated me in school.
Maybe you're right, but the data you guys have collected is worth a lot of money to a lot of people.
We're rich?
Rich in raw material.
Summer sighs in disappointment.
Wait, who would want to know what happens when we say all of our thoughts out loud?
Mainly aliens who vocalize all their thoughts and are trying to stop sexism sprouting from gendered roles of authority. Crazy, right?
Wow. I'm glad it didn't happen to us.
Didn't it?
I'll tell you who's a terrible person after looking at the data.
It's probably Summer. She was a bitch.
Careful on that high horse, Morty. It's a long fall for someone as short as you.
I'm not.
Stroke the cat, Morty.
Rick removes chips from Summer and Morty. Summer and Morty moan as the chips are removed. Summer and Morty pet Mr. Kittens. Roll titles.